Alright, guys, welcome back to the channel for the last week of the dynamic squats with the safety squat bar. I was putting on weight and didn't remember that it's by 32 kg. So I was like, after I put the blue on, I was like, there's one chin. As I did the pause, I was like, this felt heavier than one chin. Then I remembered it's actually 122. And then I was like, I'm supposed to use 150. Let me just put a yellow on each side and go with 152. So that is what I did. And it felt fine. When going through the clips, I'm not sure it moved at what you want with like dynamic average squats at least 1.2 meters per second, but more like 1 meter per second, probably more towards 0.8, something around that. I can't remember if it's different um, between squats and bench, how fast they're gonna move, because I feel like it's always gonna be a faster speed in bench press. Um, just like I feel like if you're not close to your like within like 5 reps from failure in bench press, it's always gonna be extremely fast. Um, but yeah, the thing that annoys me a little bit here, quite a bit actually, was the squat turn up again in the right knee. On top of that, when I'm going down, I feel it. Actually, it's worse on the way down, but again, there's when the stretch is being put on the tendon on the top there. Yeah, but it's just annoying because I've been trying a lot of things now to get rid of this. It doesn't seem to get better at all. Like at one point here, when I was home at my dad's place, he have the home gym. Some of you will know if you have been around for a long time. And that home gym, I can do like Spanish squats in because there's a rack. I can wrap elastic bands around. I would do that every day because I feel like you need to get the stiffness back in the tendon, and just standing there in a asymmetric position of the Spanish squat should help with that. And I had like a couple times where after didn't hurt to do sissy squats at all. Um, I was like, all right, this is great because usually it would hurt a lot for me to do sissy squats. I was like, after the first time doing it or the second time, I was like, all right, this is gonna be good. Like doing this every day for like for like 8 days, that is really gonna help me. But eventually, some of the times, it didn't feel that much better. It still hurt to do sissy squats. And now today, for example, tonight, I just did some one leg wall sets where like the pain is just at most a 2 out of 10 when I'm doing that. The Spanish squats were just like 0 out of 10. I can feel my whole quad tending up. And I'm sitting there with just like a slight bend, which is where I think like get the most stress on top of the knee in the quadriceps tendon or one of the tendons. I mean, there's obviously like three something tendons on different parts of the top of the knee. Um, but yeah, like after the day when I did it, the wall thing, if I try sissy squat, it's just still feels horribly painful. But for example, the Spanish squat, they didn't hurt at any point basically. But it went the from them making the sissy squat feel really doable with only like a 1 or 2 out of 10 pain to them not really changing anything, which for me is weird. But I'm gonna try to see if I can continue doing the wall sits every day Maybe it's just gonna feel better the next day. Maybe it's a good thing that I feel a little bit of pain as I'm doing it. Who knows? Maybe it is. I'll have to see after a couple of months to give things some time. Um, yeah, but it's just annoying that it's so hard to get better. I mean, it's not like insanely bad, but it's like I'm thinking about it a little bit sometimes. I'm still not any pain in when I'm just relaxing, which is good. Hmm. But man, I just want it to go away. Honestly, like I'm also trying to not do anything with with the jumps specifically. I'm just doing like seated box jump. It's nothing hurts. I'm like, if there's nothing that hurts, I'm doing something to make it better, get blood. Shouldn't it be obvious that it is going to get better? Like, not making it worse because it's not hurting and you're getting blood flow with, which, in my opinion, should help it. Um, but the reason I know that it's quad tendinopathy and not quad tendinitis is that with tendinitis, it usually gets worse under um, under training, and it doesn't get better with warm up. Warm up makes it worse. While with quad tendinopathy, it's more of a chronic thing where you're overtraining and something happens where it just comes over time and not as acute. Um, and it doesn't really get change, or it does change a lot with warm up. It does get better with warm up a lot, while tendonitis don't, and tendinopathy also can't even remember what I'm supposed to say. But there's just a lot of key things that make the two different. But yeah, solid training today all around, like the pull up from the box 50 kg, 5 by 5 is 15 kg, and this is one of the first times I've really been able to feel my lats a ton. I usually don't have that ability pretty much when doing pull ups. But with these wide pull ups today, though they were pretty hard and I feel like my phone stuck on the last one, I still I got showed my lats. They look huge. Anything. Um, yeah, basically probably some progress in pull ups, which is always nice to see because it's one of those exercises that for me are just very stalling, and it's hard to improve if you don't have the training people all around you, right? Um, but yeah, 5 by 5 and 15 kg for the wide level pull ups, that is damn good. After the pull ups, a ton of lateral raises, 2 by 15 and 2 by 10 with 16 kg in the arm. That is probably the hardest lateral raises I've done in a long time, in months, in years, probably. On these sets of 10, my lats, they were absolutely destroyed, but it felt good. And then the preacher curl, I don't know how I'm keeping on this progression. Honestly, it's pretty wild. But um, 6 sets of 7 and 2 sets of 4 with 38 kg. I'm going every minute on the minute, which means that in like 7.5 minutes, a little bit under, like 7 minutes and 15 seconds, I managed to do 50 bicycle curls. Like, saying that out loud sounds outrageous, but with how big my arms are getting, the better be strong, or I'm gonna regret it. Friendly training, I did dragonflies, same thing as I did Wednesday and I mean, my abs were still sore, so I did like one set out of my four sets with straight legs, where I did like 5 reps or 4 reps with everything like with legs extended both on the way up and on the way down. Then I moved on to tuck reps because they're just a ton easier. A lot more people can get into the dragonflies with that, while doing the full range of motion is for most people gonna be extremely hard. But yeah, guys, that is all for the video, and please pray for me that the injury goes away soon. Peace out.